Hey, Coltron, can you hear me?
Hey Cap, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Thank you for joining, man.
Awesome.
I
Yeah, no,
know,
no, no problem.
I know the circumstance is a little kind of weird, I guess. You don't have the Wi-Fi, you don't have a stable connection. You're at the airport, and
Yeah,
I
I'm
appreciate.
just on my just on the phone connection, and yeah, I think it's working now. I don't have video, unfortunately. Sorry, I didn't realize it was kind of a content creator thing. I probably would have made sure I was actually in front of my laptop.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you taking the time, especially under the circumstances. Since we're like 10 minutes late and we probably have like 5, 10 minutes before Avsar
Okay.
joins. Um, let's dive right in. I'm super excited about what you guys are doing at Public Goods, especially now since I've been a scribe. Um, I have been following everything closely by taking notes, and you guys are doing some amazing work. But before we get into that, can you just like let's do this in two questions. So the first one is uh, give us some highlights and something that you're most proud of, and something that you like the most from 2024, and something that you are excited about for 2025. Um, is that okay?
Yeah, let me see here. Yeah, so I think looking back at 2024, I'm super excited that we I don't know how like much time I have, but yeah. So the context is we had kind of like a kind of community oriented, kind of community facing program, small grants. I think back from 2022, and what one thing I'm proud of is that we have kind of carried the torch with that and kept that moving through last year. Um, and that's been a really great program where people can come in and submit projects, receive small amounts of funding, community can vote on it. I'm actually really happy like we were able to keep that running through the end of last year. I'm also really proud of the large grants we were able to distribute. We had, I think, one of our last rounds last year distributed around 300K to five builders on various projects, and that was really great to see those larger tranches of funding um, come through to those projects as well. I think they were all very really deserving.
If I
We
might jump,
collaborated with some new. Yeah, go
if
ahead.
I might jump in just right there, I think this is really important. Can you just for I assume like there's 200 people listening and watching this. Can you probably a lot of them are builders? Can you tell people like what are we specifically looking for? Like what type of projects we usually like to fund, and who can approach a public good working group for
Sure.
funding?
Yeah. Sure. So to answer this question, I'll kind of frame it, and kind of to give some context on, ENS and on how we fund grants. We have
Hmm.
ecosystem grants, which are kind of looking into, everything building on ENS. That's not me. Public goods, what we're looking for is everything that's like kind of outside ENS, kind of in like the broader Web3 and Ethereum space. Those projects that maybe don't use ENS, but they benefit kind of a large subset of users and make Ethereum more hospitable, make it easier to build on, just a better place to interact with as a user. Those are the things that we're specifically focused on um, with my working group.
Yeah, this is some people may don't know this, but ENS Public Goods Working Group doesn't just necessarily fund like things that are only ENS. As a matter of fact, like as you guys said, like you're very Ethereum aligned, and you help finance the broader ecosystem. Can you just give us like some of the cool projects that you funded over the years and you love funding and supporting, just so people get
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
context?
Yeah, sure. And like, so also for more context, ENS came out of, public goods funding from the Ethereum Foundation. So like
Yeah.
this is why this is in the Constitution, well, in my subjective opinion. Some of the cool things I think we've been really happy to fund, kind of more infrastructure layer things.
Mm.
Um, and also more like open source tooling. One of those that comes to mind is like Rocky, which is like an open source like way to manage your portfolio. You can download it, you can run it locally. You can, I think, output uh, printouts for your taxes on it. It's really great, and I think it kind of has like a kind of a roll your own like Ethereum like ecosystem ethos. That's been really awesome. Another thing we've been really happy to fund is Clav. There
Mhm.
was a team. Nick was looking for a pre-comp. I'm just gonna try to like do this off of my memory. There's some technical stuff I'm gonna forget, but Nick was looking for a pre-compile for the K curve or the R1 curve, one of the elliptical curves that
Okay.
currently was not able to be used by your iPhone, essentially.
Mhm.
Um, the CLOV team was a hackathon project, I think, out of one of the global hackathons, and we ended up funding them. They ended up doing an EIP that turned into an RIP, and then they ended up going forward and essentially, I think, raising money and launching their own project known as like the CLOV wallet. Um,
Yes, they're the guys on
and
ZK Sync,
that's
right?
super awesome. Say again.
Are they the guy like a ZK Sync guys? Is that am I mixing them up?
Um, I think you're mixing it up. It's a group of students, not students anymore, but out of Istanbul,
Mhm.
and they went to Istanbul Technical University.
Yeah, I could be wrong then. I might have mixed them up with someone. Um,
But yeah, anything that basically is like infrastructure layer, open source tooling, um, anything that like in my opinion is like technical that you can like see and interact with has a GitHub repo. Those are really things that I think we get excited about.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. Um, okay, just one last thing for 2025. What should we be excited about when it comes to public goods? Can you give us
Well, I
some
mean,
alpha? I know you guys have like a lot of initiatives going
I
on.
mean, well, for right now, I mean, if you really want to just dive into something right now, we're funding a round with Octant.
Yes.
Octant is matching ENS. That's we're running that on Giveth. That goes to April 2nd. I think if you go to the Giveth website, it should be available, kind of like hopefully front and center right there as one of the active rounds. We've also been promoting that I think on Twitter heavily. So if you're interested, you could probably just go to the ENS DAO Twitter and find it. Excited about that
Yep.
currently as of right to today. But also, I think I'm actually excited about continuing conversations on like how we should evolve our programs. Um, in my opinion, public goods working group started at the end of 2022 when the DAO launched, and it kind of came out of the mandate that we should fund public goods, like the treasury should be used to fund public goods. And I think we have developed kind of a path for that. But I would really like to put our heads together and start to collaborate, like and kind of do a retrospective and think of like, are we actually still on the correct path? Do we need to recalibrate? Is there anything else we need to do? In the public goods working group is um, putting their heads together. On our last call, we kind of brainstormed a bit, but thinking about our current, methods of allocation, like are they enough? Should we be giving more funding to smaller projects? Should we be
Yeah.
expanding the breadth of our funding? Should we be focusing on just a few things and giving more money to a few things? Creating more partnerships, but I'm actually so yeah. I'm looking forward to kind of just kind of doing a little bit of a retrospective and kind of reevaluating, reshaping, while continuing our builder grants, which are currently open, which is the iteration of our small grants. Small grants I mentioned when we first got on was a community kind of program where anyone could submit a application to receive funding. We have a new platform for that, um, which is
Yep.
Builder Grants, and excited for that to keep moving forward. Exciting to expand some partnerships and kind of just like take stock of what we have and continue to improve.
Awesome, man. Super cool stuff. I have to say, as I said, like from my point of view as a scribe and someone who's only been kind of involved with the in the ecosystem working group like closely, I have started appreciating a lot of work that's been going on in other working groups, and it's so cool to learn from all of you guys, specifically public goods and metagov. You guys have so many things in your hands and doing amazing stuff. As I said, ecosystem is great as well, but I've been in the ecosystem for a very long time, so I kind of know the ins and outs of that working group. But you guys are absolutely killing it, and yeah, I'm very excited about the future of public goods for ENS and Ethereum. Um, is there anything else that you would like to say to just builders that are looking to either join or apply or something? where they can, I guess, like they can find all the information on the ENS Twitter account. But any if you were speaking to builders, last like kind of last words, what would you say?
Yeah. So well, the hyperlink to our builder grants is builder.ensgrants.xyz. If I don't fumble that. Um,
Mhm.
but I think generally, I think the message that I would like to put across is an obvious one, is that we have public goods funding. I think many people, they kind of they assume we have, funding for people who are building an ecosystem, who are creating awesome things, on top of ENS, like that's a given. But I think actually we are probably a little under advertised on the public goods funding, and that ENS does have, public goods. And also, like, you don't have to build anything on ENS to be applicable. And actually, like, we kind of don't want you to build anything on ENS to be applicable. We're hoping you're doing something else. And that's our whole purpose here, is to make sure that those projects have funding available. Um, so really, if this, hopefully there's someone in the audience that this is the first time they heard ENS as public goods funding, and they kind of get curious. That would be a success for me. um
Awesome.
yeah.
So super cool, man. Thank you for taking the time to join again under the circumstances. And I don't know, are you going to some event or something? You're flying off to something, or
No,
is it?
no, just some personal travel for the weekend, and I'll
Okay.
be working remote next week, kind of a fun location. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining, and thank you for taking the time. Really appreciate you and Public Goods Working Group. Super nice to chat to you, and I guess I'll see you in the next weekly call.
Awesome, Cap. Yeah, thanks again for hosting. This is a great platform you're putting forward. Thank you.
Thanks so much. My pleasure. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye.